Hi. So in this video, we are going to see about linear search. So linear search is the simplest algorithm to search a given element X in an array of elements. Okay, so we're going to search X in an array using linear search algorithm. So for example, we are going to take the array as this, and the element X to be searched is 14. So we are going to search 14 in this array using linear search algorithm. Right. So how do we go about with that? So I'm going to search 14 in this array. So linear search, also called as sequential search, does not expect the array to be sorted. The array elements can be in any order. It need not be sorted. Fine. Now I'm going to search 14 in my array. So the algorithm says I will have to search the first element of the array. If this X is equal to the first element, then return the index. Otherwise, compare with the second. If it is equal, return the index. Else, compare with the third. If it is equal, return the index. So it just goes on from the first element till either I get the searched element in the array or I come to the end of the array. Okay, so how does this work? So I'm going to search this 14 in this array. So I start with the first element of the array. I'm checking whether 14 is equal to 10. No, right? So what do I need to do? I will have to check this 14 with the next element. So I'm checking 14 with 20. I'm comparing whether 14 is equal to 20. So 14 is not equal to 20. So I will have to compare this 14 with the next element. So I'm comparing 14 with 11. So 14 is not equal to 11. So I'm checking the next element. So I'm going to compare this 14 with this 14. So you can see here 14 is equal to 14. So I have found this X in the array list. So I will have to return the index of the array element. Right? Is this clear? So what do? We have a key element called X which needs to be searched in the array. So I will have to compare the key or compare the searching element with the first element of the array. If both of them are equal, return the index. Otherwise, compare X or the searching element with the second element. If they are equal, return the index. Otherwise, compare X with the third element. If they are equal, return the index. Otherwise, compare X with the fourth element. If they are equal, return the index. So it goes on till either I find this this X is equal to the array value, or I've reached the end of the array and I cannot search anymore. So till then, I will have to go with the linear search. So when you see here, we are starting with the first array element and moving on to the second and third and so on till the end, till I find the X or I come to the end of the array. So is this clear? So this is what we have to understand. So I have an array. I have the X to be searched. And I will have to compare this X with the 0th element of the array till n minus 1th element of the array. If I find this X anywhere in the middle of the array, return the index. If I don't find this in my array, then say that I have not found. Okay, so how do we proceed using C program? As usual, the execution starts from the main. So I have declared an array with these elements, and this is the X, I'm going to search in my array. N is going to be the size, the number of elements in the array, and pos is the position of the array element where this X is found, right? So array, this is where I'm going to search X. N is the number of elements in the array. Pos is the position of the array element where this X is found. Okay, fine. Now, how do I find the size of the array? Sorry, how do I find the number of elements in the array? So, I find the entire size of the array and I divide it by size of one element. That gives me the number of elements, right? So, I find the size of the array, the entire array. Say, for example, integer occupies 4 bytes of memory. There are 5 elements, 5 into 4, 20. That's going to be the size of this array. Divided by size of array of 0. Array of 0 is one integer, that is 4 bytes. So 20 by 4 is going to be 5. So n will be the number of elements in the array. Now I'm calling the function linear search, where I pass array, the number of elements in the array, and the X to be searched. So this ARR, as we all know, this is the address of the first element of the array. When I just say the array name, that's the base address. I can either say it as ampersand ARR of 0 or ARR. Both means the same. Okay, so ARR is the address of the first element of the array, or we can also call it as base address of the array. So ARR and ampersand ARR of 0 both means the same. So I'm passing the address of the first element of the array, and as we all know, the address can be held only by a pointer variable. Okay, n is going to be the number of elements and X is the value I'm going to search in the array. So now I is for the looping I'm using here. So I will have to search from the 0th element of the array till n minus 1 element. So it is I less than n. So first I is equal to 0. Okay. Now what is A? Address of the first element of the array. What is star A? Value present in the first element. That is star A is nothing but ARR of 0. So is that equal to X? If it is equal to X, then come out of the loop and return the I value. That is, when I equal to 0, I have found this. I have compared and I find that the search value is equal to that, equal to the array element. So I just break and return the position. Yes, otherwise, what should I do? I will have to increment A. A is the address. So you know that when you increment the address by 1, it increases by the number of bytes its data type holds. So A is a pointer to an integer. So when I increment A by 1, it increments by 4 bytes because A is an integer. Is that clear? So now A will be pointing to the second element of the array. Now I becomes 1. So I'm comparing the second element with X. If it is equal, break and return the value of I. That's the position, right? I is equal to 1. So it's found in the second position. Otherwise, increment A. So A becomes 1008. Correct? So it goes here. I becomes 2. I'm checking whether the third element is equal to X. If it is equal, break, then return I. Okay? If the search element X is not found in the array at all, what happens? The entire loop gets executed and the value of I will become n. So the condition fails. So it comes out of the loop. So it returns I. So in that case, the value of I will be n. Correct? So if the search element X is not found in the array, the entire loop will be executed, right? This condition never succeeds. There is no, this condition is never true. So it does not break from the loop. It continues with the loop and it comes out of the loop only when this condition fails. That is, I becomes equal to n. So in that case, when I return I will be equal to n. So what do we understand? If I is less than n, x is found in the array. Correct? If I is equal to n, x is not found in the array. Correct? So I'm returning I. So now that I, it goes to the function call and gets assigned to pose. Now I'm comparing if pose is less than n. So x is found in position pose from +1 because index starts from 0. If I say x is found in first position, that means pose +1. Actually, it is the second element, right? 0, 1. So I'm just doing this. If pose is equal to n, in that case, it's not found in the array. Is that clear for you? I hope you all understand it.